Hello and welcome to another writing vlog. I am so excited today because I decided to take the day off of work to work on my book. And I'm going to take you with me through the day. It's about 9 a.m. already, and I spent the last hour eating breakfast, getting ready, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So the plan today is to, like I said, work on my book. I have very specific things that I want to do. I want to work on my plot more. Recently, I've kind of gone a little backwards yet again, and I'm working more on the brainstorming and plotting, and I want to do more of that today. I really want to get a clear picture of where my story is going and how it gets there, and that is my primary goal for today. I also want to try a new technique that I've seen several authors use, which is the index card method, where you put certain scenes on index cards and then you lay them out in a story, and then you rearrange them if you need to and kind of see where your holes are. I've heard this from several authors that it's really helpful. I'm currently in a little bit of a struggle with some of my brainstorming where I have certain sequences and plot themes, but I'm not sure like which one should come first or what order they should be in. So I think this will really help me with the flow of my story. And then a few other random things I'm going to tackle today are improving my outline, character names. I've been going on and on about character names. I have narrowed it down some, so maybe today I'll choose. I'm not going to think about my regular job at all, and today is just going to be dedicated to my book. I want to see how far I can get through the entire day. I've only ever really had like 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there, maybe if I'm lucky on the weekends, 1 or 2 hours to work on my book. I've never had an entire day dedicated to my book. I'm really looking forward to what that looks like and to how productive or non-productive I can be. It's kind of a test for me to see how much work I can actually get done on my book in a day. I do really hope I can get a lot done today because I have been struggling with moving forward with this book. I know I've been talking about it for quite a while and I haven't even started writing. And it's just because I haven't been able to spend a lot of time plotting it out and doing the things I need to do to feel like I am prepared to start writing. I just stopped the recording and I forgot to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Stephanie. I am writing a book for the very first time with no experience whatsoever in writing, and I am documenting this journey along the way, so if you are interested in my journey, please follow along. All right, now to working on my book. So first things first, I am going to be reviewing a lot of the work I've done over the last week or so. I have decided recently to start doing a lot of work at night, brainstorming, plotting, things like that. And the reason is because I am most creative at night. And that is what I have discovered about myself, which I didn't know. Like, I really come up with ideas between like 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. It's crazy how much like comes to me at that time. And it's interesting because as I start the day today, I'm already wondering how productive I will be throughout the rest of the day until I hit that 9 p.m. mark. I'm a little worried about it, but I think I have some activities planned which will maybe take away like the brainstorming part that I really focus on at night. But anyway, I've got my notebook here. And what I usually do at night is I just sit with my notebook and I brainstorm. I do little plot trees, things like that. And I'm just going to go through and review and kind of get back into the mood and the environment of my book. And then once I feel confident in that, I'm just going to work on brainstorming. It has been a minute since I have come to you from sitting at my coffee table to do work, but I'm happy to be back here. First, I want to kind of summarize about this morning because I've not really worked on my book. That was about 2 hours of work with a very, very small break in between. And I have not sat with a notebook and actively tried to write stuff out for 2 hours. And it was very, very productive. One thing I struggle with the short amount of time that I have is fleshing out problems. A lot of times I'll come up with an idea, but then I'm not really sure how it works, or what there might be like a problem that it creates or a loophole or something, and I don't really have the time to sit down and figure it out. With this, I have a thought and I'm like, how can I work that into the story? And then I think about it, and then I might be like, oh, well, it kind of creates this problem, and then I work through that too. So I was able to work through a lot of things that I typically don't have time to work through. It was hard to focus, however, because I have a lot of stuff going on personally, and for me to sit down for 2 hours, my mind kept wandering to the things I needed to do. But, it is what it is. But now I'm finished with lunch and I'm very excited to work on my next project, which is the index card method. This is the method that I was referring to earlier that I've seen quite a few authors use. And that is just index cards in a pen. So I've got a stack of index cards. I don't think I'll need all these today. Who knows? One thing that I was thinking about, which probably would have done well for me, is maybe getting colored pens so that way I can kind of divide up what the index cards are about, but I gotta work with what I have. So what I'm gonna do is write down just key scenes or ideas that need to happen throughout my story. And I'm going to put one scene on each card and then organize it probably on the floor because that's the biggest space I have, and put it in the story structure. The reason I'm doing this is because I am a very, very visual person. Even though I'm coming up with all this stuff in my head, it tends to be flighty. As I'm working in my notebooks and stuff, I've noticed that I'm writing down a lot of good ideas, but it's very random. So I'll have thoughts about random scenes throughout the book, and random diagrams and charts and things like that. And there's nothing that really puts it in order. Yes, I have previously made an outline that tried to put a lot of stuff in order, but what I noticed with the outline was I couldn't see the entire picture. I could only see however many lines my computer screen would show me. And at the last time I looked at my outline, it was probably about, maybe 3 or 4 chapters on a screen. And what I want to see is the overall story, especially because I'm still planning the story. And that'll help me really see where I need work, where I need to fill in the story some. Also, I have a few different storylines that are going on in my head at the same time for this book. And I'm struggling with where do the storylines overlap? How are they related? What order do they happen in? And so I feel like if I was to write everything on cards and lay it out, I could get a really good picture of the sequence of my story overall, and then also make any changes that I deem appropriate just by shuffling some cards around on the floor. I am very excited about this. I've thought about doing this for a while, but it is a lot of work and it will create a mess, which is why I haven't done it. But I think I need to try it because I think it might be what I need to get this story going. I'm done for now with my index card method. It's almost 5 o'clock and I've got to stop and make dinner and just do like my evening routine. I will pick back up after dinner, after I get everything cleaned up, and do some more stuff related to my book and my writing. But I just wanted to talk about the index card method really fast. I found this to be the most useful exercise I've ever done to date. As a new writer, I have no experience in doing any of this stuff, so I've tried many different things to figure out my story, to brainstorm, to plot, and this is the best. It was so helpful to have everything laid out in front of me. With my outline, I was constantly scrolling up and down, trying to figure out where I had put things, but for me, it was all in one place. And if I needed to rearrange things, it was really easy. It helped me visualize the flow of the story by seeing how it went through. I ended up dividing it into my 3-act structure and then 3 acts in my 3-act structure. And that also helped tremendously because I could see kind of like certain arcs and where they were going and then where certain things were missing. And I'm going to keep doing this, and you are going to see a journey of how this index card method works, because I can see myself making like a giant board of index cards or putting them all over my floor or something. I have to figure out how to do that part because I don't know where I'm going to put all this. But I will say this was a lot of fun, and it really helped me brainstorm and come up with things. Unfortunately, I got to stop, but I will continue this later tonight. The end of the day, and I have to say I had one of the most successful days ever of working on my book. I came up with so many new ideas. This index card method I tried has been fantastic. I can't believe how much progress I've made. It is so easy to switch things around in my head and to troubleshoot and to come up with new ideas. So I'm just so glad I decided to give that a try. It's around 8 o'clock. I'm going to end up calling it a night. I may work on it for just a few more minutes later tonight if I have time, but because it's getting later, I need to clean up from dinner and get ready for tomorrow and do the things I normally do before bed. And just because of the time, I don't know if I'll have any more time to work on this book and after I do all that. I did learn some things while doing this, especially trying to work on this all day. The first is that it was really hard to work on this all day. I kept getting distracted by things that I needed to do around the house and other things going on in my life. Because this is not my job right now, it just doesn't take a priority in my life, and trying to make it a priority was really hard. But one thing I did find super helpful, especially in trying to do this all day long, was my ability to break things up. I reviewed what I did before, I worked on plotting, I brainstormed, I worked on character names, I did this index card thing to work on my outline. And I was able to do so many different things. So when I was getting tired of one thing, I could move on to the next. and it made it a little bit easier to get through the day. If I had to do brainstorming all day long, I think I would have been really burned out. So this was helpful. And it was helpful. I had a short list of character names. I made it even shorter. So I'm getting really close to naming the characters in my book. I just can't wait to name them and be able to write their names in everything that I do. Other than that, it was, even though it was a busy day, it was quite relaxing. Like, I didn't feel stressed. I didn't feel under pressure. And it was nice just to explore my story and have fun with it. And I'm looking forward to the next time I can work on it.